Views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
You are listening to Living Lighter Radio. I'm Jason.
And I'm Patricia, with an ecosystem approach to your life. Tune in every Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio.
Living Lighter provides a revolutionary way to address what's truly holding you back. We have the tools you need to reach your goals and at the same time be living lighter.
Join us now for a Living Lighter experience. This is Living Lighter Radio, and I'm Patricia. I'm here with my husband, Jason. Today, we're talking about distractions and how we can help you when you're distracted. We use an ecosystem approach to you, which is much different than what you are commonly taught. We see human beings as ecosystems that need to be uncovered instead of programmed. Human potential becomes infinite with our ecosystem approach. Most of us have distractions, and there's not a lot written, or there is a lot written, about how to manage those distractions. Jason, how can we help others work with distractions?
When we talk about the ecosystem approach, we often talk about intangibles and how they are energies, and we can work with them in a positive way. Distractions are energies. They're intangibles.
Oh, okay, wait. Explain. I need you to give examples to others and everyone, including myself. I should make that real clear. What's an intangible?
You know, it's kind of a trickery of the language, but we call intangibles. There's a lot of things that are considered intangibles that we don't think of as energies. And with the ecosystem approach, we can work with those things directly. Distractions is one of those.
Okay. What else?
Good luck, bad luck, success, happiness. There's trying to think some other examples of intangibles. You know, when we're
well, I have one.
Okay.
How about frenzy, anxiety?
Yes, I guess you could call some of those emotions.
Sure.
So I'm trying to make the distinction between intangibles, which aren't considered emotions. Like a distraction is not an emotion. And that's where people get confused. You can see anxiety as kind of an emotion, and that's an energy, and we can work with it. The truth is that we can work with both of those.
Okay.
And so when you're having bad luck, or when you're, in this case, when you're being distracted, we see it as an energy. We kind of drill down and find out what the specific energies in the moment are. But we can work with all of those. So when we talk about the ecosystem approach, what's so different about us is that we work with not only your physical life, which is, you know, how you structure it, you know, how you work it, but also that intangible part of your life, which is energies, your emotions, the intangibles in your life that affect you greatly.
Okay, well, Jason, give me a pound of anger, or how much is a pound of anger going to cost?
Exactly. You can't do it. It's an intangible.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's not something that you can see. We don't see it. We see it as a state of being, as opposed to a noun, which is it's something, and that's the big. This is a big takeaway. And if you're listening right now, this is going to be very valuable, because if you understand that these energies are things and they build up, it will completely change the way you think about negative emotions and these intangibles like distractions. For example, distractions that are based on frenzy, frustration, anxiety. Okay. If you don't work with those energies directly, they build up. So if you're trying to reduce the distractions by closing the door or putting on some headphones, that may help you in the moment. But if there's frenzy energy, anxiety, stress, those energies, they build up. And it's not going to get rid of it. You know, there's a lot of examples. Okay. We should go through some of the examples.
Okay.
One of the biggest distractions is kids.
Mommy,
exactly,
I want out.
exactly.
Mommy. Okay.
And often your kids are affected by these intangible energies, like frenzy, stress. Give a kid today's, there's bad weather here all over the West Coast. And if the kids are home from school and they're
bouncing off the wall,
you give them sugar and they're bouncing off the wall twice as much.
Right.
That's distractions, especially if you're working from home or whatever.
Yes. So
the way to deal with those, of course, is, avoid the sugar, but also to clear the frenzy
Use
that the kids have.
ecosystem approach. Exactly.
Yes, that's an ecosystem approach. I remember when my daughter was 7, this is a long time ago, when I was still in the Army, I had a month. I had a month to go from one station to another. I was on leave, so my daughter and I took a road trip across country, and it was very, very memorable.
With a 7-year-old.
Yes, exactly. And
can you say crazy? What?
We were just talking about this earlier, just before the show with Jessica. My daughter is an extrovert. I am more of an introvert. And it was a stressful time for both of us. And when she's stressed, what does she do? Daddy, you think about this. How come that's over there? Why is that there? And that's over, 3,000 miles. You can imagine? And I'm the one, I'm the type of person who, when things are stressful, I get quiet. I process it internally. So, unfortunately, I didn't have the benefit of the ecosystem approach back then, because I would have cleared her. I tried to play the quiet game, which lasted about 5 minutes.
Or less.
Yes, Daddy, are we done yet?
Are we there yet?
Did I win yet? So, it just, but that brings us to an important point. Most people try and structure
how to deal with it.
Yes, dealing with their life in ways like closing the door, putting on headphones, those sorts of things. But they don't get to the root. Mm-hmm. Work distractions. Oh, I can imagine that can be awful. Sometimes you do have to structure that to a certain degree.
Well, sure. Transitioning from one task to another is you do have to structure that. At 10 o'clock, I need to stop this and go do that kind of thing. Sure.
Well, and you may be working and someone comes up to you and there's an emergency. Yes. And you want to focus on something, and you close the door, lock the door, put the headphones on, but you may have to switch gears. And that inability to switch gears, or that reluctance, or that resentment about switching gears, is an energy that you can clear.
Right, exactly. So there's a few other ones. And I think this next one is probably the biggest one in our world today that is right out there and in our face. It's blatant. It's there. And it's what? A smartphone.
Yeah. Next time you get a text, try not to look at it.
Yeah.
It's got to be something really important.
Yeah. Like
when it's really not. But that's that little voice in your head. That little voice in your head, you can clear that. Yeah. That's anxiety. That's frenzy. That's frustration. Those are things that can be cleared.
Well, wait a minute. Isn't like the distraction of a smartphone answering, a text or looking at it? Isn't that compulsive, Jason?
That's compulsive, and that's an energy too. Ooh. Now, Apple's tried to deal with this by making it so that when you put your cell phone or your smartphone in the car, it'll automatically turn off the dings. That's great.
Yeah.
But that frenzy about, oh my gosh, what's happening? What's going on now?
Well, and I see that as a fear of being disconnected.
Yes. Yeah. And that can be cleared. That can be, we can take an energetic approach to that.
Okay.
So
there's a few other ones here.
Okay.
How about health issues?
Headaches, joint pain, breathing, allergy, frequent urination. Mm-hmm. All those can be distractions that come from some place that can be Cleared, exactly.
Bottom line, cleared. What about relationships, Jason?
Need for attention, need for communication. Those are the underlying things that can be cleared, so they're not becoming distractions.
Okay, so Jason, what is the most common form of distraction? If we're going to look at it, What is the most common form?
If we look at it in terms of energy, it's frenzy, it's anxiety, it's frustration, it's a sense of urgency. All those things, we can clear those things.
Okay. So, we've been taught to be able to manage these things all of our life, but managing the energy is more direct and simpler. Is that what you mean?
Well, that's why we do it, because when we manage, what we try and do, we're trying to work with the energy directly. We try and manage our life, but we manage by working with the energy directly. It's better in terms of dealing with those things that cause a distraction.
All right. So, Jason, what are the key points of this segment?
Distractions are intangibles that we see as energies.
Okay.
These energies can be cleared to reduce the effects of distractions. And we live in a world filled with frenzy, anxiety, and sense of urgency, which all can be cleared. Maybe the frenzy around you can't be cleared, but that inside of you can be cleared.
Well, and I do need to say this, that inside of you, when you clear that frenzy from inside of you, and especially if you're making an example, having to make choices, you will make a better choice, one that's in your best interest, if you don't get stuck in the frenzy or anxiety, because you have clarity.
Exactly.
Okay, so there's one more. What's the other?
It's a lot more difficult trying to control and manage the things in your life versus clearing the energies in your life connected to you. Yes.
Absolutely love it. Stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to talk about distractions that keep us from focusing and how to focus. This is Living Lighter with Jason and Patricia with an ecosystem approach to your life. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Have you discovered the remarkable books at angelhealinghouse.com? Author Claire Candy Hough has channeled rare books of inspiration and insight.
Angels of Faith is an inspiring story of healing, comfort, and hope that reminds us that death is not to be feared, but embraced with joy.
One True Home, Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness takes readers on a roller coaster ride through Angel Ariel's 5 most important lives on Earth, as well as her experiences in the afterlife, and helps us remember our own journey across the veil.
And Claire Candy's autobiography, I Am an Angelic Walk-In, which details the 2003 soul exchange that took place when Claire Candy walked out of her body and Angel Ariel walked in, creating heaven on earth for herself and others.
To find out more about these wonderful books, visit angelhealinghouse.com today.
Hi, I'm Laura Meeks, and the most common problem that my clients face is all work and no play. This is why I created Fly High Living. I help you develop a balanced life plan and guide you to a place where you love to wake up in the morning.
Call 888-666-1570 or go to flyhighliving.com to sign up for the 4-week Flight Plan for Life course.
Choose the new earth on the Cornelia Stephanie Show. Tune in each week on Transformation Talk Radio as Cornelia takes listeners on an odyssey of higher consciousness to inspire, educate, and empower. Cornelia guides people on the path of self-healing, peace, and liberation. The Cornelia Stephanie Show is your catalyst for anchoring heaven on earth on a global scale. For more information, go to corneliastephanie.com.
Is traditional medicine not working for you? Do you still feel as if your health isn't 100%? Here at the Holistic Medical Center, Dr. Nushin Darvish and the qualified staff look through the dimensions of wellness and start a healing plan prioritized to your needs. Our physicians assess the whole you until complete health is achieved. Get the help you need by visiting drdarvish.com or call 425-451-0404.
If you have a sense that you are meant for more, join Heather Allison every third Tuesday at noon Pacific as she explores an ancient, forgotten energy within us and helps us access our original archetypal blueprint. The Golden Path will help you remember the key to unlocking your life, love, success, and magic you were meant for. A key to unlocking your golden path. Visit heather-allison.com.
This is Living Lighter Radio with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And we're talking about distractions and our inability to focus. We use an ecosystem approach to you, which is much different than what you are commonly taught. We see human beings as ecosystems that need to be uncovered instead of programmed. Human potential becomes infinite with our ecosystem approach. What keeps us from really focusing, Jason?
This is a biggie, and I want you to take note. We think that we can structure our life so that we can focus. But the truth is, what keeps us from focusing more than anything else, and we know this as intuitives because we see the energies of these emotions, that it's the negative emotions that are energies that need to be cleared. We never focus on emotions. We always trying to structure and control our life to keep the distractions away, but that never works. You know, success is often determined is termed in terms of focus over a long period or short period. You know, someone who's focused on the game, for example, or focused on a specific
there we go.
Project.
Okay.
But also on a business over a long period of time, the focus that they have.
You know what? I just thought about something. I'm going to interrupt you for just a minute. I remember working a 9-to-5, and this is before I started using the ecosystem approach. And I would go, when I'd go into work, I'd say, I can't be angry today. I can't be angry today. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be happy. Everything's going to be okay. I can handle this. I can handle this. And by the way, I did have a very stressful job. My last job before I left the corporate world was purchasing. And when you spend other people's money, I guarantee you it's stressful because they might not like that you spend, $50 too much or what they think is too much. My point being that I ran around in turmoil and frenzy and anxiety continuously and ate a lot of sugar because I didn't know about using the ecosystem approach. And it makes you crazy. What I'm getting at is that clearing the negative emotions will enable you. It will give you the opportunity to be calm, to have the clarity, to be stress-free or be able to handle the stress of what is going on. And I'm giving you just at work or at home, wherever you are.
It's such an obvious thing. That was a great example because we always try and do some sort of trickery, manipulation, forcing ourselves, manipulating ourselves, even seducing ourselves so that we can focus. But it doesn't work because these emotions of anger, frustration, fear, anxiety, stress, they build up. And so the more you force yourself, trick yourself, manipulate yourself, those energies kept building up more and more and more.
Well, and then you become very, very distracted because you're doing six one half dozen of the other of whatever your emotions are and what your work should be, what you should be doing at work.
Exactly.
It's for lack of a better way to say it, a real technical term, it sucks.
Well, and what I've seen over time is that people that use programming to help them focus start to become numb.
No, they are really numb.
So they're focused. They're numb to all the sensitivities around them, and they focus and they work. This is sort of out of the blue, but on the news right now, there's this news story about the governor of Virginia who had a yearbook photo of wearing either blackface or a Ku Klux Klan outfit, and he doesn't seem to understand how offensive that is. Well, I can understand people who are programmed. He's a pediatrician, and when you're working in the sciences, especially, there's a big challenge, or there's a big risk that a lot of your emotions are programmed out of you because you're taught to focus on this and focus on this.
Well, the rules say you can't have emotions there.
Well, exactly.
You can't show them anyway.
Some sort of scientific objectivity, you push your emotions aside. So pretty soon you become numb and you can't function in ways that are necessary in a lot of different jobs, because empathy is a very important part of most jobs, and having that and the ability to work with that and focus at the same time or at other times, the way to get there is through clearing, not through some sort of forcing yourself, tricking yourself, pushing them aside, manipulating, all those things which are common programming methods.
Well, okay. So the ecosystem approach, let's just say this, and not say this, but know this. The ecosystem approach is always about getting to the root cause.
Yes.
And I'm not sure that everyone understands that when you get to the root cause and you start clearing away the garbage or the toxic energies or all of the things that are standing in your way that are keeping you from good health, from clarity, from the knowing of who you are, meaning connecting to your essence, the most amazing things happen. But when you ignore these things, you set yourself up for cancer, bad heart, diabetes.
That's a side effect of programming.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
It's such a big deal. And what we do with the ecosystem approach is we include your emotions, these intangible energies, as part of your ecosystem. And when you look at yourself as an ecosystem, it's not about a problem here and then a solution over here, which focuses you in a way that keeps you from getting, all-encompassing solutions.
Well, something else just popped in, Jason. Most people would rather deal with the stress of a situation than deal with the fear of judgment from others.
Well, and what you're saying is that it's easier to deal with the superficial emotions of stress, or you can deal with stress by
everybody has it.
Drinking a cup of coffee or
having
numbing
a glass
up,
of wine.
yes, or distracting yourself with calling a friend or whatever. But it doesn't get to the root cause. And what happens is when you don't get to the root cause, those negative emotions build up and they build up and they build up. Mm-hmm. And cancer doesn't just happen.
No.
And
by the way, you don't catch it.
You don't catch it. We're not trying to blame anybody that has had cancer or has cancer.
Not at all.
But what we see is that these emotions build up. My daughter had cancer when she was younger. She was a teenager. And I see that a lot of her stresses in her life come from these root causes that we've been clearing that, and she did really well, and she overcame that. But those negative emotions are still there, and we're still working on them. Yes. And it's a big deal because they don't go away quickly or easily, but they build up slowly over time.
So I'm going to change the subject, but it's still the same. Jason, we try to avoid the things that distract us, that set us up, that are stress to us, but that's pretty difficult and almost impossible. But give us a few examples of what people do or, what they do with those distractions.
One of the biggest distractions that I think about, and we're no longer, we used to live in the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, and we've moved out of that, but the traffic there was horrific. It was awful. And it's hard to be in traffic for a half hour and then
or more
and be relaxed when you get to your destination.
Right.
It's because that you can feel the frenzy. You can literally feel, as intuitives, we saw this all the time, being on the highways. There was an energy on the highways that was different than on the side streets. And it had to do with the frenzy and the anxiety, other people's frenzy and anxiety. If we clear that within ourselves, we can be aware of it from that's when it's around us, but we don't have to connect with it.
Correct.
That's what road rage is.
Yes.
When something happens on the road and all of a sudden someone's just enraged, that's because they connected to some angry energy, or they had that angry energy in themselves. They were just looking for a place to come out.
Exactly.
And that's where it came out.
Yeah. So Jason, what is the newsletter bonus for this week?
We use the newsletter, and I want to suggest to people that this is a really important point, is that the newsletter is your way of getting clearings, these clearing statements, consistently, and specifically. And today we're talking about distractions. So our newsletter tomorrow is going to be about distractions and have clearings for distractions. But even like last week, it was about sugar. If sugar isn't really your issue, if you're that one person out there in the audience right now that's not their issue, it'll still be helpful to do those clearings, because it always gets to something that's within you.
Correct.
And our ecosystem approach will be more specific. But for right now, you can do these clearings every single day, and it's going to help you no matter what the topic is. So go sign up for our newsletter right now. It's go to our website at www.livinglighter.org and sign up. All we ask for is your name and your email address.
So, Jason, what are the key points of this segment?
Frenzy, anxiety, and stress keep us from focus, and they can be cleared. You can't avoid the things that distract and stress. Changing the energy does make a difference. Understanding how you work with all these stresses and distractions, you can then determine what to clear for a better focus. And managing your life is of minimal benefit. Going to the root cause and clearing the negative energy is the maximum benefit.
Stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to talk about the biggest distraction of them all. This is Living Lighter with Jason and Patricia, with an ecosystem approach to your life. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Are you tired of being bloated and nauseous? Hi, I'm Mary Jane Mack. Did you know eating unhealthy foods eventually leads to an unhealthy digestive system? Did you know eating the most healthy, nutritious food doesn't necessarily result in a healthy body? The stomach must be healthy in order to properly digest, metabolize, and utilize even the best of nutrition. Without proper digestion from the stomach through the intestinal tract, the nutritious value is not absorbed, and the improperly digested food can be more toxic to your body than helpful. You can be doing all the right things and getting all the wrong results. In fact, other organs may also be interfering with your stomach's ability to digest. With CRA, we are able to determine the specific cause of the digestive issue and use the proper nutrition to correct the imbalance. Contact us today for your appointment at 888-777-4232. That's 888-777-4232. Or visit us at maryjanemack.com.
Are you done being afraid to jump into the life that's waiting for you? Are you ready for a real shift? I invite you to tune in every Tuesday with me, Tracy L., on the Tracy L. Clark Show, where we will teach you how to live your extraordinary life. At 8 a.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio, where I will provide the tools and the steps needed to help you transcend perceived limitations and move forward with an extraordinary life. For more information, visit me at tracylclark.com.
Would you like assistance on your soul's journey? We invite you to explore the new Alchemy of the Goddesses Center, located in Auburn, Washington, a sacred space for healing sessions, classes, crystals, books, and many other tools to assist you in reaching your full divine potential. Working together with compassion and love. Find out more about the new center, visit alchemyofthegoddesses.com. That's alchemyofthegoddesses.com.
Interested in deepening your spiritual practice? The School for Esoteric Studies offers online training to spiritual seekers from all paths of life and individual coaching. Our courses synthesize Eastern and Western spiritual traditions based on meditation, study, and service applied to everyday life. To learn more about our courses and services, please visit www.esotericstudies.net.
Are you feeling
feeling stuck in unhealthy habits, toxic relationships, or low self-esteem? Do you crave a healthy relationship filled with inspiration? You might just be on the verge of attracting your soulmate. Tune in each month to The Laura Richer Show, where dating coach Laura Richer and co-host matchmaker Peggy Bennett share tools for using your dating breakdown for a relationship breakthrough. For more information, visit richerhealinghypnosis.com.
This is Living Lighter Radio with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And today we're talking about the biggest distraction of them all. See if you ever thought about this one. We use an ecosystem approach to you, which is much different than what you are commonly taught. We see human beings as ecosystems that need to be uncovered instead of programmed. Human potential becomes infinite with our ecosystem approach. Okay, Jason, everybody's on the edge of their seat. They're waiting. What's the biggest distraction of all?
We've been doing this for, I guess it's like close to 19 years now. Both of us together. Focusing on the wrong problem in your life is the biggest distraction of them all.
Well, wait a minute.
So that sounds like a judgment. I know.
Wait, come on. What do you mean by that?
It sounds like a judgment. It's not meant to be. It's not meant to be critical. But what I see over and over again is because of programming. And that's, if you want to blame someone, blame something. That's the thing to blame. Because we've been so programmed. Our culture teaches us to program ourselves, using force or trickery or manipulation in getting ourselves to do things. What happens is that it numbs out this part of ourselves that would automatically act in our own best interest. In other words, our essence is that part of ourselves that says, okay, this is what's in your best interest. If you didn't have the negative energy that is attached to you, you could see that what's in your best interest in the moment, in every moment, every day, 24/7. And you would naturally be motivated, there's that word, to go and pursue a solution in that area as opposed to some other area.
Okay, well, wait a minute. I just want to back this up for a little bit of clarity. Oftentimes, what you're saying is that if I'm one of our clients, I come to you and I say, I'm so angry at my husband. I think I want a divorce, but can you help me? Well,
and that's a common one.
It's a very common one.
It's not always your husband, but it's not always the man, but it is, often it is.
No distraction there. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
People come to us and they see that their problem is one thing, but it's something else. We had a client a long time ago, and we had been working together for a while, and we were able to clear away and identify types of people that she had in her life that were very negative and not beneficial to her. But instead of continuing to focus on her and that negative energy that's attached to her, she rejected or ejected or pushed out all these people from her life. She just refused to deal with them. And it was the huge distraction, because the problem was not these people, but her response to them, her ability to respond to them in ways that were beneficial for her. And these biggest distractions are things that are outside of yourself. We think, because of our programming culture, it's not your fault. You've been taught this. Because of our programming culture, we've been taught to look at our problems outside of ourselves and look at solutions that affect those things that are outside of ourselves, as opposed to the energy that's attached to you.
Well, let me. So, in other words, if I hate something about someone, you're telling me one of the best things I can do is clear something within myself?
The hate about someone, if you clear that and keep clearing it, it'll take you to all sorts of places. Now, I'll say this to you you that are listening in the audience, it's not one size fits all.
No.
What Patricia hates may be something different than what I hate, and someone else could be completely different. But by doing the clearing, those things are revealed to you.
Right.
See, we live in this programming culture and which treats us like a machine. And so if the machine operates to a spec, and this specification, then everything's okay. And then when it's out of specification, it needs to be fixed. Correct. That's our problem solution mentality, but it's an illusion.
Well, it's an illusion to humans.
It is an illusion for humans. It works great for your Chevy out in the driveway or your refrigerator. If there's a part that's broken, fix it, and everything's fine. But we're not pieces of a part of a machine. We're human,
right?
And so the ecosystem approach focuses you as a human being, and a big part of who you are as a human being are things that are intangible. And there's that word again. And today we're talking about distractions, but the biggest distraction for you as a human being is working on those energies or that structure in your life that's outside as opposed to what's inside, because that's where all the problems stem from. We had a great show about this, incidentally, that was called New Beginnings on January 7th. So if you're interested, go back and listen to that one. You can go to our portal at our website at www.livinglighter.org. Go to the radio tab, and you can see all of our past shows there and our future shows there, and download or whatever you want to hear.
So I just want to. You have something in the notes here. Jason and I keep notes because we get distracted real easy. The story of the San Francisco Bay. Why did you write that down, Jason?
It was a great example of being distracted, because what people were looking for is a solution to the problems of population in San Francisco Bay Area.
At one time, it was one of the largest growing populations in the country.
But they were running out of space.
Right.
So the problem solution mentality, they were going to cut off a part of the mountain that we used to live by. And fill it into the bay. They were throwing in trash and garbage and any sort of stuff that they could get to fill in the bay so they'd have more real estate. And then developers were selling it. Well, this was so awful to the ecosystem of the bay. The environmental movement came up as a result of what was happening in the San Francisco Bay. And it's a great metaphor for you as a person, because they were using a problem and solution mentality. And they started to see that, well, there's an ecosystem here with the San Francisco Bay that benefits everyone. And if it becomes toxic, if it gets filled in, if it gets numbed out, if it gets blocked, it's going to be really bad for everyone.
Well, with air pollution and the toxic stuff that was happening in the bay because they were filling it out.
They were thinking just about the real estate, and the truth is, if they would have been successful, no one could have lived there anymore because it would have been so toxic and so polluted.
Correct. And I do want to just put in this little side note. There was 3 women. Their husbands were very famous in the Bay Area, and I'm sorry, I don't remember exactly who they are. But these 3 women figured it out. The scientists didn't figure it out. The major companies didn't figure it out. These 3 women figured it out, that if they actually did fill in the bay, they would destroy it.
And they figured it out because they were connected to their essence, and they knew instinctively, intuitively, that this wasn't going to work.
And it was wrong.
So key points.
Okay, Jason, what are the key points of this segment?
The biggest distraction is focusing on problems and solutions versus the energy or the ecosystem. Mm-hmm. A machine operates to a standard and can be fixed if it is out of standard, and you are not a machine. Focusing on problems outside of yourself is distracting from the core issue of your ecosystem. And the ecosystem approach restores the focus in the proper place and keeps you focused on what's in your best interest.
And I just want to add one more thing. Women have always had a lot to say, and I'm glad that our world is starting to listen. I'm sorry. I just had to punch that one for just a moment. It just, So, Jason, let's tell everyone how energy works.
the way you do clearing, and that's what we're going to do in the next segment, is you don't have to sit in any special way. We have a very forgiving clearing process. It works. We see that it works. We know that it works because we can see the energy move. Just use your imagination. When we say to eliminate, gather up those emotions, blow it into a trash can when we say breathe. And this trash can be imaginary or actual. Don't worry about the trash can. We'll empty it, and then we go on to the next emotion.
Okay. And then after we do that, after we do the clearing, we're going to activate life force because it is the most powerful energy that anyone has access to. And by the way, all of us have the right to access this energy. And what we do is we pull it in through the top of our head. We let it go all the way down our torso and our arms, our legs, and all the way to our toes. I like to turn it around, use the rest of it to clean up anything that's been left behind. And then we move right along to the next. So with that said, stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to help you remove some of the negative energy that is connected to what? Distractions. This is Living Lighter with Jason and Patricia with an ecosystem approach to your life. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Are you your story? Or can you change your story? Can you change what you believe to be true about yourself and your circumstances as part of your healing journey? What if you were to change your expectations? What if you were to invite ease and cooperation into every day and then step back and see what happens? It might just be easier. I'm Megan Edge, and I hope that you'll join me on my new radio show, Playing on the Edge, Radical Change with Ease, with my co-host Dr. Pat on Transformation Talk Radio. I look forward to seeing you there.
Want to find out more about Megan Edge? Visit her website at meganedge.ca.
Have you been searching for a push to step out and share your gifts with the world? Allow Charlene Hess to empower you to start shedding the layers of your ego that are holding you back and begin feeling connected to your heart so that you can shine your unique divine light and share your gifts with the world. Tune in to the Charlene Hess Show, Living on Your Heart's Edge, every first and third Friday at noon Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com. For more information, visit CharleneHess.com.
Got a bra problem? The Healthy Bra Company comes highly recommended by Dr. Christina Lasich in her book, High Heels to Hormones, A Woman's Guide to Spine Care. Ladies, if you have neck, back, or shoulder pain or postural issues, Maria Monti, postural therapist and owner of the Healthy Bra Company, says they might be related to your bra. Call Maria today at 360-815-3205. That's 360-815-3205.
Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show, Talk Radio to Thrive By. I am so thrilled to be talking to all of you. We have got talk radio for all of us. Are you ready and willing and able to accept all of the abundance you can muster up in your life? Yeah! Check us out at drpatshow.com, transformationtalkradio.com, transformationradio.fm. Oh my goodness.
This is Living Lighter Radio with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And now we're going to help you remove some of the energies that connect you to distractions. Jason, you're on.
Here we go. I direct all my resources and all dimensions to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see distractions as energies and then clear them. Take a breath. Blow it into that trash can. And to eliminate the illusion that managing my distractions is effective when the truth is clearing distractions is better. Take a breath.
And in the long run, less time consuming. Take another breath on that one. And to eliminate the barriers so I can see my distractions in terms of energies. Take a breath.
And to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see those energies that distract me and then clear them so I can name them and clear them. Take a breath.
Chuck, Marcia, John. Oh, that's not what you meant. Okay. Take a breath, everybody.
Yeah. You don't clear people as distractions. You clear the emotions attached to them. Yes.
Huh. Okay. So I direct all my resources in all dimensions to eliminate the frenzy and stress and overwhelm that I have that keeps me stuck in what? Distractions or being distracted. Take a breath.
And to eliminate any shame, guilt, or unworthiness I feel that keeps me from my focus, that keeps me from focusing on what's really important to me. Take a breath.
And to eliminate the energies of distractions that are keeping me from the clarity that I need so I can see what's a distraction and what I need to focus on. Take a breath.
And to eliminate the veils and illusions around the stresses in my life so I can see them, clear them, and work with them that way as opposed to trying to eliminate them. Take a breath. You know, for most things, they wouldn't be stresses if we could eliminate them.
Yeah. Yeah, but your backyard would be filled with garbage, I'm telling you. Okay. So, and to eliminate the anger, resentment, and bitterness I have that keeps me stuck in distracted energy. Breathe.
And to eliminate the frenzy, anxiety, stress, worry that are the top level of my distractions that keep me from focusing on anything that's important to me. Take a breath.
And to eliminate any energies that are keeping me blocked, keeping me stuck in distracted behavior as opposed to being able to focus on what I need to do or even what I want to do. Take a nice breath.
And to eliminate the energies connected to my compulsions, to reach for my phone, to look at the phone every time it dings, to do things that are compulsive as opposed to by conscious choice. Take a breath.
And to eliminate the hurt and pain I have that is distracting me from my purpose in what I'm doing today, and even my life purposes. Take a nice breath. So, Jason, how about let's activate some life force? What do you say?
Yes.
All right. I direct all my resources in all dimensions to activate life force so I can use life force for all the things that I need, want, desire, and deserve. Take a breath. Pull that in through the top of your head. Let it go all the way through your torso, down your legs, your arms as well. Now turn any leftover energy around and blow out any negative energy, meaning that garbage that's been left behind.
And to activate life force so I can have the strength to clear my compulsions and addictions that are distracting.
Yes.
Take a breath. Pull that energy in.
And to activate life force so I can love myself enough to focus on my ecosystem versus trying to manage my life. Take a breath. And I'll add on to that, and trying to manage other people's lives. Take a breath. and to activate life force so I can have patience for the strength to clear the distractions. Take a breath.
And to activate life force so I can love myself enough to be peaceful and happy right now. Take a breath.
So, Jason, what are we going to talk about next week?
Well, it's just before Valentine's Day, so we're going to talk about love, how to get it, how to find it. Real love is so rare, and we're saying that because we're intuitives and we've worked with so many people over the years that we see it, and that there are many imitations of love, like possessiveness, enslavements, things that we think are love, but really aren't.
Wow.
We're gonna talk about how to really find it, how to get it, and how to keep it. So
I like the part where we're going to talk about being possessive and enslaved to someone else. That's, by the way, that's a whole different game on that one.
So
if you if part of you gets the importance of removing negative energy in your ecosystem, mark your calendar. The Living Lighter Radio is every week, Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific and 4 p.m. Eastern Time. If you can't listen at that time, our show is recorded. You can go to our website at www.livinglighter.org and look for the radio tab. And you can look and listen to the past shows that we've had as well.
If you really want to have a better life and you want to make clearing constantly, consistently, and specifically a part of your life, which is the way to get away from the ultimate distraction, which is doing other things, you have to sign up for a newsletter. When you do that, then you can do these clearings every single week. We have people that tell us they put them on their smartphones, they clear them on their breaks, they do it all the time, and they can feel a difference.
Mm-hmm.
So do it for yourself. It's free. All you have to do is go to our website, go to the email tab, and put your name and email address.
And by the way, the people that clear constantly, consistently, and specifically, other people's notice that the people that are doing this on a regular basis, that their lives are changing for the better. It's really amazing.
They always get these comments like, "Oh, did you change your hair? Oh, is that a new hairdo or
new outfit?" Yeah,
yes,
that kind of thing.
It's the clearing. Believe me,
it is the clearing. It is the clearing. That is for sure. We'd also love to hear your comments. Or send us a note. So you can send us a note. And that email address is Jason and Patricia, one word, JASONandPatricia @livinglighter.org.
And if you, I've got to tell you about some of my insecurities, but I've got to be real honest about this. I love to be liked on Facebook. I get the biggest kick out of those little thumb, facing in the upward direction. So, if you...
it's not that middle finger one?
No, it's not that one. So, if you liked what you heard today, go on to our Facebook page. It's at livingdolly.org at Facebook. And you can like us, make a comment on our page. We'd love to hear from you.
And by the way, Jason makes comments on the Facebook page as well.
Yes.
Living Lighter Facebook page.
So please go ahead and do that. We appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. So, if you got a benefit today or had some fun, go like us on that Facebook page. Read the comments there. We're at livinglighter.org. If you like us, then you'll always be able to, we always preview the next show on our Facebook page every single week. And that once again leads me to the newsletter, Jason.
Is www.livinglighter.org and go to the newsletter tab.
And we love it. We'll connect next week, Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific and 4 p.m. Eastern Time. This is Transformation Talk Radio. You're listening to Living Lighter Radio with Jason and Patricia.
Wishing you a lifetime of living lighter.
Thank you for listening to Living Lighter Radio with Jason and Patricia. I'm Patricia. We have an ecosystem approach to your life. Tune in weekly as we discuss what's truly holding you back. We offer you the tools you need to reach your goals and at the same time be living lighter. For more information, visit our website at www.livinglighter.org.